So the part of leadership and the part of sales that makes it scary for me is not the facts and feeling unprepared in that sense. It's that emotional connection to the facts. And what I mean by that is, let's say I walk in there and I'm scared of telling somebody the price because I feel like I'm going to be way more expensive than the next person. Or I have to tell somebody that maybe I'm trying to have some influence over some bad news or some things like, hey, they're not making the cut as far as what we need them to perform at. And oftentimes, what we get scared of isn't the fact itself, it's the emotion tied to the fact. And so that's where the key comes into navigating. So I read this interesting thing about how when couples go into marital counseling, typically the marital counselor isn't going to try to change whatever they came in for as far as the facts are concerned. What they're going to try to change is how they communicate around the facts. And so the couple walks out feeling a lot better as a couple, but the facts didn't change. It's just how they navigated around those facts did change. And so I guess the key to growing for me has been focusing on how do I make sure that I understand the emotional ties to what I'm about to present to this other person. And that takes a level of understanding. It takes some time and it takes some ability to be able to dig in a little bit deeper than just laying it out there. Because there is another person on the other side of it, and you don't necessarily know how they're going to react. However, sometimes it is best to just lay the facts out as they are and let other people react and then go from there, because it's not scalable to go try to please everybody. Sometimes you're going to have to understand. So tell me why this triggers you a little bit. Okay, you're on a performance improvement plan. Uh, Give me your feedback. Are you scared about losing your job and then you feel like then you're not going to pay your bills, or what's the main thing? Is it the humiliation behind it? Walk through the human side of it, and then tell them like, look, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen. Right. So we have two truths here. You have bills you have to pay. We have bills that we have to pay. And so my goal is to make this work together. And just being able to walk through the facts like that and be able to help reframe that there still needs to be a performance improvement, but doing it in such a way where you're showing that there's understanding of two truths need to happen at the same time. You need to pay your bills, we need to pay our bills, and so we both need to agree that the performance has to improve to do both. I feel like for me, when I have that feeling of being heard, but also understand, okay, here's where it's coming from their side, it takes a lot of the emotional tension out of just laying the facts with and then letting them do with it as they please. So that's just a little 2 cents. Sometimes it helps to give context, because if you don't give context and if you don't take a little bit more time to understand why people are reacting the way they are, then you're going to look like a cold-hearted leader or a sales guy that's just hungry for commission and nothing else.